If you're looking to buy an investment property on the Emerald Coast, this video is for you. We are going to give you the honest truth of everything that has to do with investment properties here in the area. So let's go ahead and get started.
Hello and welcome. This is my beautiful daughter Christina, and we are a mother-daughter duo team here in the Emerald Coast.
Let's go ahead and jump into the video. So the first thing we want to discuss is what the rental market is actually looking like here in 2026 in the Emerald Coast 30A Destin area.
Well, Christina, our numbers are really down compared to 5-6 years ago before COVID. The prices of the homes have, after COVID, they've doubled, and so have the events has gone up. And therefore, that you see some investors are not making the numbers that they're expecting to make.
Yeah, I think a major thing that happened is during COVID, when a lot of the states were shut down, we were open here in Florida, so we had really good numbers in 2020, and that incentivized a lot of new building, new investment properties, new construction, more rental properties. So now we're at a point where people can go everywhere again. They can go to Europe again. The home prices are expensive, rental prices are expensive, but there's also a lot more options in our market. With that being said, there still is rental opportunities, especially people looking for a second home, that it does make sense for them.
Well, the first thing you have to always ask yourself, what is your objective? Is your objective to own a piece of paradise on 30A in Destin and come visit there a couple of weeks out of the year and have offset some of the expenses? Or is it truly an investment property?
And if the answer is it's truly an investment property and you don't plan on using it, there are very few and far between properties that are gonna have the cap rate that a true investor is looking for in our area, in our market currently.
Yes, so the only really true question is if you hold on to the property long enough, history can show you how prices have constantly gone up, but through that period, just like the stock market, it goes up and down. So if you are truly just looking for investment, you need to look in terms of long-term investment.
So my next topic is what type of properties or what type of communities are doing better than others in our market, because there is something to tell that some areas and some types of homes or condos perform better.
Of course, absolutely. Number one, the proximity to the beach, truly very important. Do you have access to either deeded beach or a public beach access that's walking distance from the home? Number two, I always say, you know, people are surprised that we have cooler weather in December and January. Having a heated pool definitely will increase your rental numbers in the off season in the winter months, because people love to have a heated pool. Number three is the condition. You know, when you look at the pictures of the unit, some investors, they never put any money back in the unit. But when people handpick the units they stay and there is more inventory than there is demand, they go by condition of the property. So keep your investment property updated. Makes a huge difference. What am I missing?
Well, I feel like as far as communities go in the location, the beach access is obviously really important, but there are certain communities like Watercolor on 30A that are very highly desirable just because of the amenities that they offer in the proximity to not only the beach, but places like Seaside where you can walk or bike to anywhere on your vacation.
You know, that's a great point. We've sold several homes in Watercolor, and you know, you have access to this beautiful beach resort, really, and you have, you know, you can bike throughout the community and visit different pools. It's so family oriented, and yes, a lot of people will come back every year. They want to stay in Watercolor versus trying a different home or a different vacation.
Absolutely. Going into our next topic here, we're going to be talking a little bit about numbers and how we measure, you know, what could be potentially a good investment or not in the area. And we have two separate things. We have actual rental numbers from an existing rental property that has their actual numbers of what they did in prior years, and we have projections for a property that maybe isn't a rental right now but could potentially be a rental.
Yeah, and you know, this is a big problem when we work with investors. We always aim for asking for actual rental data, and we find that a lot of the sellers don't want to share that, and they don't want to give it to us, and the answers always are, well, it was not really used as a rental. Truly, that is so important. So if you can identify a location, let's say you pick a neighborhood like Watercolor. You can go and handpick and see overall, if you can have one home give you actuals, you can kind of get a better comparison what a home potentially could do based on the condition of the home and the location. But that is truly important.
Yes, absolutely. And if you don't really have the option of actuals on a property, get multiple projections and really know that those are just simply projections and they are not actual numbers.
And I always say, accept the worst, go with the lowest number. And that way you have a little safety cushion, because don't forget, you have other expenses. You have to pay the rental company anywhere from 15 to 25%. You have all your maintenance, because when you rent a unit out, you have higher operating expenses because you have to put money back in the wear and tear, and you have to pay taxes and homeowner insurance, and there's a lot of different variables that affect your profit line.
After we touched on all the numbers, let's kind of talk a little bit about some mistakes that we may see buyers coming in and looking at rental properties, and maybe things they overlook before purchasing.
Not understanding the cost of homeowner insurance, the condition of the property and the constant maintenance, you know, that the wear and tear when you have rental companies managing it. Some rental companies, you know, we may recommend a rental company, but they may have different staff, and your experience may not be as good as somebody else had. So do your research, read their Google reviews, because everything is geared on reviews. So if you have a rental company that does not go and do a quality check on the unit and does not monitor when guests are complaining to keep that all good going, that can potentially really hurt your property in the long run.
Absolutely, those are absolute great points. And going off of that as well, what type of loan products are available to investors? Because there's a couple that, you know, some people aren't even familiar with.
Well, that's a good point, Christina, and I'm going to look here because I always make sure with my German accent I can remember the correct names of these loans. But, you know, the most common loan right now is the debt service coverage ratio, the DSCR loans. We have several lenders we work with. They're all specialized in that type of loan, and they're basing it on the rental income the property produces. So basically you have to put 20% down. I always advise, if you can, put 25% down, because your interest rates will always be a little bit more in your favor. If you can put down at least 25%, at least have the lender run the numbers for you. Another one is a bank statement loan. And all they're looking is on your income that's coming in. We're actually doing a couple of those right now, where we have an investor purchasing a home, and that's what they're basing it on. Just how much income do you have for the last year. They don't even look at what is withdrawn from the account. And then another one are bridge loans. You know, you can take a loan out and an equity on another property that's paid for in full. But the lenders that we work with, they will be the experts, and they will advise you based on your credit score and your financial situation, which type of loan is the best for you.
And we always recommend working with a local lender that understands our market, especially if you're buying a condo, because they can be really tricky here. We have warrantable and non-warrantable condos. We have a whole video kind of explaining that if you want to watch that and you're interested in condos. But these lenders know what to do, and they know how to get these types of loans close. That's super important.
That is more than important, because the warrantable and non-warrantable condos, it changes per lender, and they have to actually send a questionnaire to the homeowner association, and they have to complete it, and based on how they complete it, it's actually determine a ratio, how many units are rented and non-rental units. They determine if it is warrantable or non-warrantable. And when you have a lender that's operating in Atlanta, they don't know our area. It really is a disadvantage to you. You really truly should depend on a local lender.
All of this information can be very overwhelming, especially if you're looking for a second home and you're a first-time investor and you haven't done all of this before. And so that's kind of where we come in and really help people, because I would say the majority, if not mostly all of the people that come here and invest in the area with us are looking for a property that they can use for themselves as well, and then offset a lot of their expenses through renting out the property. That is the most likely scenario for us. And so we help a lot of these people that don't have investment properties and they're really just trying to navigate it. And so some of the things that we do for our second home investors is we have an investor spreadsheet, and all of the properties they're interested in, we're plugging in every number so they really have the best snapshot of what that property is going to look like. HOA fees, rental property, insurance, taxes, all of those estimates on that spreadsheet where you can really compare properties and see what may be the best investment and best option for you. We're also going to be honest. You know, our number one core value here is honesty. And so if you ask us a question about a property and say, you know, I'm thinking about this, we're going to be honest with you and we're going to tell you, because actually had people decide not to purchase here because we want you guys to choose the best option for you.
Yeah, we just had that happen. We worked with an investor couple for probably 3-4 months, sending them the data. They came for a visit and they realized that the numbers were not reflecting what they truly wanted. So we referred them to another contact we had in a different area, and we still stay in touch. But you know, what's really truly important is that it is the right fit for you. And also, besides the numbers, you have to understand the location. You have to know what communities better than others in terms of investment, where people want to be, and really truly understand that. And that is where we come in. And I think I got to say I have to give Christine the credit for it, because she's the one who works with the spreadsheets and all the numbers.
Yes.
And then together we kind of really listen to our investors and try to find that perfect spot for them. But most importantly, you always start out with your objective, because if you don't tell us your true objectives, we cannot help you the right way. So for example, if you're really truly looking for a home that's going to be your second home and you just want to rent it out, you have a very different objective on what you're looking for in the home than if you come and tell us, you know what, we just want to spend 1 week per year here, all we care about is the numbers. A very different objective. We would give you completely different advice, if that makes any sense.
Yes. And we're always happy to help answer any questions and help you navigate any of that, even figuring out if it is right for you or not. So we're always here. Feel free to reach out to us at any time.
So one of the other things that we're really strong is communication. Our communication system, the moment you reach out to us, Christine and I will set up a group chat between the two of us and you. And one of us will always respond to your questions. Like if I'm tied up, Christine will respond. Vice versa. If Christina is busy, I respond. So you always have somebody that you can quickly get questions answered. And really, I'm very proud of our communication system.
Yes.
Well, until the next time, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss und goodbye.
See you in the next video.